Oh, Endgame. Let's do it. I'm back. Rhodes rants on Avengers Endgame. That's right. Now, I'm going to warn you right now. I really don't know what a non-spoiler review is. There's no such thing in my book. So, if you have not seen it, I would back out now. Okay, here we go. And I just got done seeing it. And yeah, I'm smoking in a video. Wow. What I will tell you is there's a lot of setup, right? It shows the world in basically a morning period. They go and they actually get to Thanos, okay? And before we go too far, let me let you know Captain Marvel's in this movie for all of about 10 or 12 minutes, maybe, and that's it. There is one, what I would call 1 minute blatant girl power scene where like all the females of the Marvel universe that is involved in this universe is involved. It doesn't hurt the story. It doesn't hurt the movie. It's 1 minute and you move on with life, okay? It's not going to hurt your enjoyment of this movie. The movie has a lot of setup. The beginning of the movie, what I will tell you is, and again, you should not be watching this if you don't want to be spoiled. They kill Thanos in about the first 20 minutes. 25 minutes maybe. They find him. Thor is still pissed. Thor cuts his head off this time. Flash forward 5 years. The Thanos kill didn't do him any good because he had destroyed the stone. So, Ant-Man shows up and he's saying they're going to go into the quantum realm. They need Tony Stark. Tony Stark is reluctant to join the fight as him and Pepper have a child. Hawkeye has went straight ass rogue and is going around killing the planet's worst of the worst. They're criminals. The criminals that survived the snap. Mexican cartel, Japanese gangsters. He's just slaughtering them. This is a good movie, okay? What I will tell you is I don't know right now where it will rank on my MCU list because I'm probably going to have to see this 2 or 3 more times to know for sure and digest it. It will be in the top 5. I just did my top 5, and right off the bat, I can tell you it will knock Guardians of the Galaxy out of the 5 spot. And honestly, it'll probably knock Captain America First Avenger out of the 4 spot. So, immediately, it's in the top 4 MCU movies that we've seen so far. I don't know that I will move it ahead of Infinity War for one reason and one reason only. I found the story of Thanos in Infinity War to be fantastic. And that's why I have that movie ranked so high in my MCU list. Thanos, Infinity War is about Thanos. This movie is about the Avengers. Thanos is really not in it that much. Maybe 15, 18 minutes. This movie centers and follows the Avengers as they do go back in time. And we actually find them back in situations from previous movies. For 2 or 3 of their first stops. This is actually where the movie kind of drug for me. It drug along during that spot, right? But when they got to new places and new opportunities, that's where it got really interesting. I knew when they had to go find the Soul Stone, it was not going to end well. Of course, the Red Skull is there waiting, and Black Widow and Hawkeye are the 2 that go. This is where we have our first major emotional moment of the movie, as Black Widow does not walk away from that equation. That is our first major MCU death, besides the people in the snap, you assume most of those people will come back, right? But besides Loki, Black Widow is the first to go down. She sacrifices herself as Hawkeye's got a wife and children. It's a good moment. It's a strong moment in the movie. The third act is where this movie is really takes on a life of a comic book. It is full-blown action from about the last 1 hour mark through. And eventually, Iron Man ends up with the glove on, with the stones. Thanos has actually come from the past to the future because he has discovered the Avengers' plan by tapping into Nebula's inner workings. So once he finds out that plan, he's going to show up and try to stop him. A massive battle ensues as the Avengers start showing back up. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. Thanos unleashes all hell on everybody. All of his minions, all of his henchmen who are back alive because he came from the past. The ones that took a dirt nap in Infinity War are alive, right? And a massive battle ensues. And it is an impressive battle on screen that lasts, my guess is, a full 20 to 30 minutes long. It is emotional. Captain Marvel does have an impact on that scene, that battle, but is not such an egregious impact that it's going to take away from this film, in my opinion. Okay? So if you're not a Captain Marvel fan, I would not let that stop you from seeing this movie or feeling like you're going to get enjoyment out of it. Because Thanos' demise in this movie does not come by way of Captain Marvel. Now, I went into this movie, me and John Matrix, and we both were talking who is not going to make it out alive. We had either settled on Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. Tony Stark does not make it. It is an epic end. He says the epic line, "I am Iron Man." And he passes away in an emotional moment. Very emotional. I will tell you, I got watery, but I never actually shed a tear. So, you also have the torch passed from Steve Rogers, who takes all the stones back and shows back up at the end as an old man. He chose to live his life out and then come back. Basically, he got to live the life he wanted to live. The Falcon is the new Captain America. I initially did not think I would be on board with that, but the way it was done did do some justice to Steve Rogers. It was a really nice moment between Sam and Steve. I was kind of surprised it wasn't Bucky, but I knew when Sam stepped up to talk to Steve, that's what was going to happen. And he pulled the shield out, and he passed it over. It was a good moment in the movie. Do I believe this movie I will ever rank it ahead of Winter Soldier? No, I will not. It is not. I like grounded superhero movies, and this movie's just got way, way too much CGI for me to rank it as the number one MCU film ever. But like I said, where I would put it is probably number 4 in my top 5. I don't believe this movie will rank. Now, upon further viewings, I might move it ahead of Infinity War. But because Thanos was such a epic, monumentally great villain, I doubt I will ever move this film ahead of Infinity War, which is number 2 on my list as well. Might move it ahead of the first Iron Man, but I don't know that. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Does it have rewatch factor, which, in my opinion, is one of the number one ways you judge how good a movie is? Are you going to be able to sit down and rewatch it? Do you want to sit down and rewatch it? Yeah, I can tell you right now, I will rewatch this, you know, 3 or 4 times a year probably. Like Infinity War, I watch it. We had this film coming up, but I've seen it twice in the last month. It's an emotional movie. It is. The Russo brothers have done a great job with this. Lucasfilm should have them on line one to direct a Star Wars trilogy. They are self-admitted Star Wars fans. That needs to be the next franchise they tackle at all cost, Lucasfilm. Give them a trilogy. They will kill it. They will absolutely kill it. And they have proven with their track record they can honor characters' legacies and set emotional impacts, right? Damn good movie. Damn good movie. It was my number one most anticipated movie of the year. It did deliver. If I was going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say this movie is about a 8 out of 10. Infinity War would be a 8.5 out of 10. Winter Soldier would be like a 9.5 out of 10 or a 9.75 out of 10. That's how much I think of the Winter Soldier. So, you tell me what you think in the comment section below. Pretty wild movie. It does have some small draggy parts in it, but they're few and far between. You might find yourself for 5 minutes being like, eh, and then it sort of moves. The narrative moves on. Also, of note, this is Mark Ruffalo's best performance as the Hulk, in my opinion. They do give the Hulk a significant arc in this movie, and I appreciate that. I did not like Thor's I've gained 70 pounds arc in this movie. I don't understand why they have to sort of poke with a character like that. Just let him be Thor, Kind of like they messed with the Hulk in Infinity War. I hated that. The Hulk couldn't come out. Stop it. Just let the Hulk be part of the fight. Ruffalo and the Hulk, Banner and the Hulk are now in complete sync. The Hulk is intelligent, just like Banner. They're one and the same, and I find that highly fascinating, actually. Your best performances in this movie? Mark Ruffalo's good in this movie. And I'm not the biggest Mark Ruffalo fan. But Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. bring it home. One last time. This was it. It's over for them. On a side note, the future of the MCU, I'm pretty certain we're getting a Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor movie together. If I was to understand things, Thor is now part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.